G'day, my name's Garth Makovsky, Harcourts, the property people. Today on Selling Tips Macarthur, I'm going to talk to you about an agent's statement that's often made in the lounge room of potential sellers and people that are looking to engage an agent to sell their home. And that is a belief amongst a lot of agents that your best buyers don't like auction, and that your best buyers won't wait the 2 or 3 weeks to attend the auction to compete to win the property. You see, selling by fear, that's not positive for anyone. I'd ask you this question. Have you ever met or known anyone that was happy to settle for their second or perhaps third most favourite home when they purchased? Just doesn't happen, does it? People go for the property that they love, that they really want to own, and that's it. People do not like settling for second or third best. You see, buying a home, it's incredibly emotional. First home buyers, investors, homeowners, they all want to purchase a property that meets their needs, a property that's in the right location, the right street. It's near the shops, near the schools that their children go to. It's driven by emotional forces. Don't be fooled by agents who sell by fear and try to convince you that your buyers will be prepared and happy to settle for second best. You know, your buyers are a lot smarter than that, and so are you. Just don't fall for it. If we consider the actual process that a purchaser has to go through in order to purchase a property, that's probably the best way for me to demonstrate to you that a purchaser just won't be willing to settle for second best. Generally, a negotiation will take on average between 1 and 4 days to close a price and to reach an agreement on terms and conditions, at which time the purchaser normally then executes a contract to purchase subject to a 5-day cooling off period. So you can see already that we're up around 7 to 9 days. However, very rarely does a 5-day cooling off period stay at 5 days. In 90% of cases, contracts are extended to 10 business days. However, that doesn't include the 2 weekends in between during that 10 business day cooling off period. So then all of a sudden, we're actually talking about 15 to 18 days during that purchasing phase of obtaining finance, getting PEST, getting building reports, getting the bank valuation completed. Unfortunately, during this cooling off period, your home is actually removed from the market and is no longer shown to prospective purchasers. And this means that if a purchaser was actually willing to submit to you a higher price, you cannot accept it. You're locked into that contract with that purchaser where you'd signed that agreement on that first weekend. You see, the vendor has very few rights under a cooling off period. The only person that can rescind or exit that contract is in fact the purchaser. And if they do rescind, they're only forfeiting their 0.25% deposit, which is roughly around $1,000. There's not a lot to lose. It's very one-sided. So if we compare now against how a buyer would interact had the property been positioned and offered for sale at in-rooms auction, you see the first noticeable difference is that the property, even though we'd found the purchaser in week 1 or the first day, the property is never removed from the market from being for sale until such time that your purchaser has an unconditional approval, has a full deposit, and has completed all their searches and is prepared to sign a contract without a cooling off period. Now, the significant benefit there for you is that your property and your property agent that's marketing it are continuing to show day by day all that traffic through, all the secondary buyers that perhaps are more cautious, the buyers that don't want to come to the first weekend's viewing because they know it's going to be really busy, that want to look on Tuesday or Wednesday and then take the following week to go and complete all their research. You see, this method includes everybody. It includes those buyers from the first weekend and then the follow-through buyers on weeks 2 and weeks 3. You see, if a purchaser really wants to secure your home prior to the auction event, they can. They can submit an offer. However, the key difference is it's not an offer that's been submitted subject to cooling off period. It's an offer that's been submitted with unconditional terms, and that means no cooling off period. That means before you accept the offer, they must have their loan approval. They must have sought their legal advice. If they would like their pest and building inspections, they're also completed as part of the process. So when that offer is presented to you by your agent, it's been presented as a properly qualified offer with a purchaser that can pay their full deposit today or tomorrow morning, sign the contract, and the sold by sticker can go up tomorrow. That's a very big difference to offering your home for sale and then settling subject to cooling off terms and removing your home from the market in what is easily considered the best part of your campaign, weeks 1, 2 and 3. Why risk missing your best chance of achieving highest and best price? Why risk missing your best purchases in weeks 2 and 3 when you don't have to? You can still sell to the buyer from week 1 if you'd like to. However, it will be done unconditionally, which means without a cooling off period. The auction method creates a deadline on both buyer performance and agent performance. There's a performance deadline, the day of auction. If that purchaser wants to buy it before the auction, by all means, go right ahead and accept their offer and sell it. But only if it's the highest and best price and you're absolutely sure that you could not achieve more at the auction event on the night. The auction method will create a deadline for your buyers and your agents to work to. It'll get both your buyers and your agent moving faster and working faster with a sense of urgency with an ultimate goal to secure your property. Selling under your own terms and remaining in control as the seller and the vendor is the most important thing. If you'd like to discuss this further with me, I welcome your call. I'm Garth, Harcourts, the Property People.